another great song from E.G. Kite coming here Thursday night to the Inn on the Square. And I love that song. I won't ever give up. Well, that's today. Who knows what tomorrow will bring? Who knows what tomorrow will bring? But today I won't give up. Man, I tell you what, it is a beautiful day out there right now. Hope you've been outside this morning and seen how beautiful it is out there. I wonder what the temperature was. It was 60 degrees a little while ago. Let's go ahead and check the weather. Already warmed up another 4 degrees. It's 64 outside. Looks like we are headed for a high. You're not going to believe this. A high of 83 degrees. That's right. Today will be nearly the same as yesterday's, but high of 83. We are looking for a low tonight of 63. Tomorrow is going to be even more unbelievable. High of 86 degrees with a low of 64. However, Thursday things are going to change because who wants to have a lovely day, right? Every day, warm weather, a little bit cooler at night. Who wants to have that? No. So Thursday, a high of just 67 degrees. Still nice. But coming in Thursday night, well, let's see. Let's go all the way till Thursday. Rain ending early during the day, breaks of sun in the afternoon. Much cooler. I guess so. A low of 35 degrees, folks. That is Thursday night. This is why you don't plant early, because you just don't know what's going to happen in March. Much cooler, high of 67, low of 35. Rainfall coming in during the day, 1/4 of an inch. Thursday night, clear skies, low around 35 degrees. Now, Friday comes in with sunny, high near 65, and Friday night, a low of 44 degrees. Not too bad, but still cooler than what we've had. Coming in on Saturday, looks like we will have sunny skies, a high of 76, and a low of 51. Plentiful sunshine on Saturday. Sunday comes in. That'll be March 15th. A high of 74, low of 58. And then to start out the work week, high of 61, low of 30. Low of 30 on Monday night. 29 will be the low on Tuesday. So just when you think St. Patty's Day is going to be a day, because that'll be Tuesday, the 17th, high of 47, low of 29. But then again, who knows if that'll actually happen? The weather has a tendency to change. So anyways, I just wanted to cue you in on that. If you're just joining us, good morning, everybody. How you doing here today? I'm great. Already been up early. Penny's having a spa day today. All you have to tell her is spa day. And she's like, oh, I get to go see my friends. I'm so excited. So she got over there and she's all excited. And then I told him, yes, Penny gets a spa day. I get a haircut. Anyways, it's worth it. She has. And yesterday we were doing some practicing in her chair, being able to say hi to everybody. And she did tremendous. So look for anytime very soon. Penny will be live with me on the radio. I don't know how this is going to affect her. She'll be great. How's it going to affect me? It may be difficult for me to get the job done. But anyways, I will be here doing that. So last night, Mark Lynch, who is a Republican challenger to Lindsey Graham, was here in town at the Greenwood Republican meeting. I went and watched and listened. You know what's so humorous is that the Lindsey Graham team had sent a spy But you know what? It's a spy that's known, so it's not really a spy when you sit there and record the whole meeting of what Mark Lynch was saying last night. And Mark Lynch actually made a comment on him. Are you getting all this? Are you making sure you're getting this? Blah, blah, blah. So anyways, kind of fun and interesting as far as that goes. He certainly had quite a message last night, and we're looking forward to having him on the show sometime very, very, very soon. So that is another candidate. Mark Lynch, actually, his dad, I think it was his dad, that owned Jeff Lynch, and his family still owns it. So he talked about all the different aspects. He talked about the security of our country, I guess, would be the best way to discuss that. An interesting approach. One of my questions that when I get to have him on the air with us will be to discuss how effective one can be as an army of one, even if you are an army of the Lord, to go up against the machine of, well, Lindsey Graham, but more importantly, I wanted to ask the machine of Washington, D.C. So that'll be some of the questioning that I will have. And hopefully, we had hoped to get an interview with him yesterday afternoon, but he was at several different places at once, so that didn't work out. But anyways, we will be having Mark Lynch with us very, very soon. Tomorrow morning, we are going to have Pamela Evitt is going to do a makeup call with me. So we'll have a makeup call in from Pamela Evitt tomorrow, Lieutenant Governor Pamela Evitt. She is right at this moment, in this horse race, she is in, I think, the catbird seat as far as fundraising. And according to her team, they are all, she is the head of the pack. So we'll be talking some about that, what she's been doing across the state. Ask her if we've got any update on who she is going to choose for her lieutenant governor running mate, and or when she's going to announce. I think there's two schools of thought as far as that goes. Alan Wilson came out with a terrific pick of Mike Rickenbach, who is, of course, a senator from Orangeburg area, I think. Senator from that area, or down in the lower part of the state anyways. And he, I think, is a terrific pick for his lieutenant governor. But I find it interesting that the rest of the pack has not made any choices, and kind of wonder whether we will have picks before the primary or not, because part of the other side of it would say, don't go there. Don't go there. If you don't have a terrific top of the line pick, or you're still trying to see how far you're going to go in this race, maybe you don't pick. I don't know. But anyways, Alan Wilson is supposed to be with us next. What is it? I'm in April. No wonder I can't tell you the answer. The 19th, I think we're supposed to get an interview with him on the 19th. That is, of course, also the Dia Supper. The sheriff's Dia Supper will be going on then. That is on the 19th. That is free. And I understand Alan Wilson will be here for that. And we are going to try to have an interview set up with that. So that's pretty cool. All right, but other things that are in the news. Price of oil is come down some. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. Price has kind of been sticker shock, hasn't it? But when you went to the gas station, but they are saying that gas will come down. However, something else that I was reading this morning I thought was rather fascinating. Let's see if we can get back to this. An article in the, where was it? The New York Times. We're talking about the oil coming down. But one of the other aspects of things that you may not know about or even have thought about, that one of the problems that we could have, the greater the likelihood, take agriculture, the longer the conflict in the Middle East continues, the greater the likelihood that people around the globe will pay more for food, and those in the most vulnerable countries could face hunger. Why? Because the Persian Gulf is the dominant source for the world's fertilizers, especially those that deliver nitrogen to soils. And they were talking about the cost of, I think it's pronounced urea, and that in the Middle East, they won't have any effect on the grains or anything, but the effect of the fertilizer that they get from that area coming in to our area, our time of the year, is going to be a problem. If it actually hasn't already been, I'll use the word harvested, because our farmers and everything will need it now. So I'm a little confused by the article. I don't know whether this is spin or whether they would be talking about possibly comes the fall. But it says prices are already climbing over the past week. The price of urea sold in Egypt, a market that economists track closely, climbed more than 35%. If the trend continues, governments across the global south could need to subsidize the cost of growing crops, and that could add to their debt burdens. So, the long-term solution is not to be dependent on fertilizer that has to be trafficked through the Strait of Hormuz, a political economist told this interviewer. We have become rather hooked on these imports. So I think that's an interesting point, that we don't always think about all the other things. We think about oil and how the Strait of Hormuz, if they couldn't get through there. But here we have fertilizer, which does affect the price of our food. So, but I would think that it really probably wouldn't affect this springtime, because it would seem that would already have to be harvested and be here. Might affect later, but then again, if this war ends as soon as President Trump seems to say that it will be ending, maybe these things will not be this great an effect on other things. So, Chinese investors have poured money into infrastructure projects across the Middle East. Those developments are now in the line of fire. So, I think the only point I really wanted to make is, sometimes we are very tunnel visioned in what we think about. When we think about war, we think of, the price of gas, and all of a sudden, boom, it goes up, this type of thing. But in reality, there are so many other products and things that get affected by the war. One of the things that concerns me is number one, we now know from Steve Witkoff that the Iranians in their negotiations told them no, that they were at 60%. They actually told them, and they told them they weren't going to stop. Even when President Trump said, if truly what your need is for uranium for nuclear power for running your energy source, we will supply you at no cost. They still didn't give it up. That told you a lot, didn't it, about where they really were on this. So, but what was my train of thought here? President Trump is now talking about nation building over in Iran. Well, that's fine. That's fine, provided other people get involved in paying the dollars. I don't want to see the United States of America, that needs to be worrying about our own country, all of a sudden writing checks for Iran over there to rebuild their country. I know that we will have had a big impact on them having to rebuild, but we also will have saved the world. So my question is, how will it get rebuilt? We cannot really afford to keep writing checks, can we? If you're a business and you don't have any money in the bank and somebody comes and goes, can you sponsor this event? We need you to be our $5,000, $10,000, whatever sponsor. And you don't have the money. You have to say, I'm sorry, I don't have it. What can we do on a smaller level? But I am kind of concerned about President Trump saying that we will be the chief rebuilders of the nation. Even though, as President Trump said, he is not pleased with the supreme leader that they have chosen over there. Evidently, he was pretty badly hurt. He is the son of the former supreme leader. I don't know. Can you imagine being the son? And supposedly he didn't even know that they had voted him in. And so can you imagine going, you want me to do what? I just lost my leg. I lost my dad. I think the mother. I think some children. All these were lost. And now you want me to be the supreme leader? I don't think so. And they said they hope to get a taped conversation from him. He can't even show his head in public because they probably would kill him. So it's kind of odd, isn't it? It's kind of odd. I mean, these type of things we are just not accustomed to. But I thought it was most unbelievable that the guy that's supposed to lead the country didn't even know he'd been picked to lead the country. They picked it in secret. They didn't even tell him. They were afraid that he'd turn it down. They're probably saying, hey, we voted you. You gotta be the leader. And he's going, I don't want to be the leader. He's supposed to be very, very, in all seriousness, he's supposed to be very, very close to his dad's alignment. So that does not forebode well for the country. So it kind of makes me wonder, how long will he be the supreme leader, right? Yeah, okay. That's a little bit about the war as far as much as I know. The big story, of course, from Sunday was in New York City, where they actually had the two bombs that were made that were put off right in front of Gracie Mansion, which is where Mandani and his lovely wife live. They did not detonate. If they had, it would have been horrific. And one of the big concerns in our country is, do we have sleeper cells that are being activated? Now, I don't know about you, but when I think of sleeper cells, and I am making this a little bit of a joke about being activated, I think about, do they send out a secret code and all of a sudden anybody who has been programmed as such comes to life and has a mission and starts going in their direction to accomplish their mission. Supposedly, these two guys didn't know each other, but that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. That was from the defense attorney for the two, or one of, I guess, of the two guys who had one of the homemade bombs. But they are considering it a terrorist attack, and so that ups the ante and takes it out of New York jurisdiction, puts it in the federal courts, which at least we won't have the lackadaisical New York City or New York courts trying to just push this aside. So from that standpoint, we'll have to wait and see what's happening there. Here in South Carolina, I've got some interesting stories. Number one, I want to talk about the $1 million lottery ticket that was won. No, I did not win it. And also a bag of weed and cash that was donated to, well, you'll just have to hear who it was donated to. And also, I've had several stories here I haven't gotten to, so I thought we might spend a little bit of time talking about them. This story right here, I think, is pretty interesting. Don't know if you saw it. It was Pam Stone writes an article for the Index Journal every week. And a couple of weeks ago, she wrote an article about me, myself, and AI. Now, I don't know about you, but do you ever see any of those? If you're on Facebook or Instagram or any of those, they've got these videos and they show you, they'll take a show, a TV show, and they'll show you what the actor, actress looked like at the time they were in the show. And then what they fast forward 30, 40, 50 years, whatever, and show you what they are looking like now. So Pam Stone is writing about being seen in one of those videos when she used to be on the show Coach. And she says there is no shortages of warning about artificial intelligence. It's all going to take all the jobs. It's creating robots that are going to kill us, and nobody will be able to tell what's real and what's fake anymore. For sure, she says 2 of the 3 have already occurred. The robots, as of press time, have remained mostly obedient except for isolated cases in Asia where a South Korean worker in a pepper sorting plant was crushed by a robotic arm which mistook him for a box of food, and Chinese engineers having to flee during a scientific demonstration in 2025 when a reported glitch caused a humanoid robot to flail around uncontrollably. The jobs, according to the most recent data, reliable data, between 45 to 55,000 jobs in the United States last year were lost to AI, with secret losses, meaning job losses as a result of automation, but present as hiring freezes estimate the number could be much higher. We all know that robots are, and that's why our students need to be preparing for different types of jobs than what they would have traditionally gone to school for. She goes, the difficulty is discerning truth from fiction. And that becomes a big, big part of what we're dealing on, whether it's the news or some fluff story. One of my favorite things to watch on Facebook, and I really have to stop myself, is this puppy named Coco, and it's Coco's TV. Now, I know this thing is animated because I sit there and I try to think, can I get Penny to do some of this? And it talks about mommy this and the robotic vacuum cleaner, getting treats, all this kind of stuff. And I'm sorry, it's just precious. But I know it's not real. But I sit there and I look at Penny. I said, Penny, do you think you could move your lips so I could kind of make this a video and everything? And I go, I know I can't do that. But anyways, there are so many things out there that you try to think, is this real or is it a video? Is it AI? A few weeks ago, everybody was asking ChatGPT to do an image of or a caricature of you, and everybody got into doing that. I am surprised how quickly that ended, though. I don't know whether people didn't like it or what happened. I never did one of myself. I was like, nah, I don't think I want to do that. But anyways, I was impressed. Like one day, everybody was trying it, and everybody had all these images, and just as quickly as they were there, they seemed to disappear. So, she in this article, Pam Stone, which had her on a couple of weeks ago. If you want to see that video of her or audio telephone call in, we had a good time with some humor that afternoon. And she is a funny gal, has a really good take on things, and that is on our website, WCRS 1450am.net. That was, I think, a couple of weeks ago, yes. But if you scroll through the videos, just do the drop-down box, hit that, you'll be able to see all the videos that we have posted on from our Facebook Lives right there onto our website. Okay, so she says that, uploaded by an entity called Past Fusion AI and set against the backdrop of instrumental music more appropriate for a memorial service, this video uses AI-generated images of each cast member's early in the show's beginning, being then met by the same actor in their present age. And for those who have passed on to the big studio in the sky, even more cringeworthy is the image complete with angelic wings of the deceased actor sitting with its arm around the shoulder of its former living self. She goes, I can only tell you with complete conviction that Jerry Van Dyke and Katherine Hellman would be appalled, especially the really creepy way living and late actor wave at the camera wearing waning smiles. She goes, then it was my turn. As my 29-year-old self appeared in the Minnesota Screaming Eagles sweatshirt, and my 66-year-old self entered stage right to sit down and pat my shoulder, it was immediately evident that images taken from long ago and a more recent photo shoots had been used. And I'm vain enough to be grateful for the good lighting and makeup. But here's the thing. If it can happen to me, it can happen to anyone. Like it or not, the tech bros have access to not only every text, email, and social media post we've made, but also our images, ID, photos, profile pictures, driver's license pictures. Anyone with intent can harvest your information and upload it to the internet for the world to see, without you having any way or say-so in the matter. What happened to me is relatively harmless. The picture of her at 66 when she was 29 in the original show Coach. But generating images of one's spouse having an affair, your child purportedly starting a fight with another kid, a deep fake of Savannah Guthrie's mother proving she's alive. While President Trump signed an executive order late last year blocking states from enforcing their own regulations on AI, he soon learned that Sharpie signatures only hold so much power. California and Colorado have passed stringent regulations, and 30 other 8 states are on their well as way. If you'd like to know exactly where your own state sits in this regulation wrestle, you can always Google it, which of course uses AI. So that is it. I thought interesting point about things. How much power do we actually have in this world over what happens to us? And how do we actually survive not knowing what is truth and what isn't? I long for the days when we had Walter Cronkite. And that's the way it was, or that's the way it is, March 10th, 2026. We don't have that luxury. I just thought I'd bring that up because I know that is a story, and I do agree. Those images of those that have passed on with the angel wings. In fact, I sit there sometimes and I go, I didn't know they died. Which kind of makes me wonder. Sometimes I feel like looking it up. Have they really died, or is this another deep fake from AI? There's a lot of interesting stuff on this, but a lot of interesting stuff on the on this AI stuff, and you can spend hours going down a rabbit hole watching all kinds of videos and everything. But one thing, before you go out and say it's truth, you better check your sources. Hey, I'm Ann Eller. This is WCRS Radio, and yes, we are live on Facebook. Love for you to join me this morning on Facebook. Love for you to say, good morning, Ann. How you doing? And if you'd like to call or text, 864-332-9355, 864-332-9355. Yep, somebody said they just registered at your CBD store for the wellness package. I did need to mention that. Joe over there, your CBD store, Joe is having a spectacular special this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I think it is. And you've got to register. So you need to call Joe and get registered. And somebody just said, Ann, I just registered over there. Joe is so nice. He is nice. And I always love talking to Joe and hearing what he has to say about what's going on in the world. So let's see if we got Joe's ad right here. We might go ahead and just play it. You got to sign up. You get $200 worth of deals for free. So let's see. I thought I had it in here. Do I not have it in this one? Where is Joe? Where are you at? Well, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Somebody else just said, hey, we got to sign up for something. Thank you, Ann, so much. So, see, advertising on WCRS works because you know what? People pay attention. I was most interested last night at the Republican meeting because I had people say, Ann, I've missed you. I said, well, I'm there every day. Where are you? And a lot of people didn't know they could go back and watch the show afterwards on our website. It usually takes a day, maybe. Sometimes that evening we have it uploaded so you can watch it. So that's a really, really, really good thing. Let's take a quick break from our sponsors that make all this possible, and we will be right back. Oops.
Anywhere. Hey, did you see Bob? He just tried a yoga class, upside down.
And Jane just swam 10 laps while juggling her water bottle.
Somehow, I feel like I belong here.
You do. This is the Greenwood YMCA, where everyone's having fun and everybody knows your name.
There's no place like this place anywhere. Come join the fun and make 2026 the year you belong. At the Greenwood YMCA, there's no place like this place.
Hello, this is Lisa with Greenwood Performing Arts, the only organization bringing you experiences like no other. Join us on Thursday, March the 12th at the Inn on the Square for our highly anticipated Bourbon, Boots, and Blues. Doors open at 6 o'clock with appetizers and special bourbon tasting by bourbon connoisseur Wesley Timmerman and friends, all while enjoying the bluesy tunes of E.G. Kite and Band. And don't forget, Clubhouse Cigars will be on the veranda. It will be an experience reminiscent of a speakeasy with a modern twist. Limited tickets are available by going online at greenwoodperformingarts.org or in person at the Arts Center. A special thanks to our season sponsor, Lakeland's Plastic Surgery, and our event sponsors, Davis & Floyd, the County Bank, and Deals Heating and Air. See you there, and you can wear your boots.
Hi, this is Joe from Your CBD Store. We are having a wellness weekend starting Thursday, March 12th through Sunday, March 15th. Everyone that call in to register will get a free $200 wellness kit. No purchase necessary, but you have to register now. 864-223-5625. We also have doorbuster specials, so call 864-223-5625 to register now. Hi.
Oh, hi, Joe. Yeah, there you go. That's Joe with your CBD. I got one more. Coming up this Saturday is going to be the Great Lake Cleanup. You need to sign up for that. Looks like the weather's going to be decent on Saturday, so let's get out there and clean up the lake.
Trashy Lake Greenwood or pristine Lake Greenwood? The choice is yours, Greenwood. Your opportunity to keep Lake Greenwood beautiful is in your hands. Join us on Saturday, March 14th for the really big annual Lake Greenwood cleanup. Donate yours and your family's time. All supplies provided for the cleanup, and yes, there is a free lunch. When? Saturday, March 14th, 9 to 12. Register at our Facebook page, Keep Greenwood County Beautiful, or our website, keepgcb.com. Free lunch provided by Break on the Lake, Papa John's, Chick-fil-A, and Pepsi of Greenville. Be the solution, Greenwood, not the pollution.
that's right. We're back. We're back. I don't know how I do all this. Do you know I can put the curtain down, I can put the curtain up, I can play the music, I can play the commercials, I can put people live when they call in on the phone, on video. I tell you what, it's truly an amazing world we live in. What's more amazing is most of the time if I screw up, people let me know. And that's a good thing. I like that. So don't ever stop. Because every once in a while, I'm sitting here just talking away and forget to turn my mic on. So anyways, so you heard about the CBD, the Wellness Weekend, Thursday through the 15th, so I guess that's Sunday. You do need to sign up for this, though, if you want to get $200 worth of products and some free special things that'll be going on in the store. This is the really, really, really big weekend at your CBD. And it's a really, really big weekend for the lake cleanup. So get out there and let's get the lake cleaned up. What is the weather supposed to be on Saturday? I hope I'm right on the weather for Saturday. I don't remember. Let's see. Well, we got to get rid of that. We got to get this. I got too much going on. We are looking at for Saturday, high of 76, low of 51. High of 76, low of 51. It's going to be a great day to get out there early, help clean up the lake, and then get a free lunch over there. They'll be doing all that at Break on the Lake. They'll have pizza, soda, Chick-fil-A. Yes, they've got all of this going on. By the way, have you driven on the bypass where the new Chick-fil-A is going to be? Yes, it's at Burton Center, where our first store was here in Greenwood, South Carolina. It's gone. And Chick-fil-A is coming on fast. I think somewhere around the end of the month, 1st of April, they are going to be open, folks, and this is going to be really exciting. I think it's most interesting that they have, for all the Chick-fil-A's that have been around, they added tents, they added shelters so they could improve their drive-through flexibility and everything. And now it looks like they have built almost like a carport over the top of the new Chick-fil-A. The other thing that amazed me was how high the sign is on the street sign. I certainly hope something else is going to go in there. Maybe they're going to have a menu board or specials or something. I'm sure they'll have something like that. But it's amazing how tall that sign is that has the Chick-fil-A on the street. So anyways, if you're out there, just be careful driving by. But they are making amazing progress, and you will never have known that 1428A years and years and years ago was Sharp Facets Gallery right there, along with the sewing machine. Anybody remember that? The brown sign with the sewing machine? Yep, that's we were right next door. I bought a lot of clothes because we were right next door at the sewing machine sign. Yeah, the yellow sign with the brown sewing machine in it. Yep, that was back in 1984, and I think we were there till 1994 because we opened in the mall in 95 and we bought our building down on the bypass. So we stayed pretty much on the bypass our whole existence for Sharp Facets, and of course finally ended up at that beautiful bank building right there on the bypass too. So anyways, I had a couple other stories I wanted to tell you about. This lottery ticket story is absolutely amazing. Have you heard about this story? That's what I want to know. Have you heard about this story? It is quite unbelievable. And a guy went into a store to purchase a lottery ticket, and he could not, let's go over here, see if I can find it real quick. He couldn't get the ticket or the bag of the one that he wanted. Where is that? Oh, I guess it's over here. Okay. I got the story about the bag of weed and cash being donated now. Don't go away, because I got that story coming up. But since I've started this on this story, nope, that's not it. Come on, Ann. Here you go. Is this it? I don't know. Yes. Lottery ticket. South Carolina man wanted was sold out, but second choice was a grand prize winner. This is from the state newspaper. I love this story. When a convenience store didn't have the lottery ticket a Midlands man wanted to buy, he shifted gears and picked out another game. South Carolina educational lottery officials said in a news release. That choice and a stroke of luck made him a millionaire. The man won a scratch-off lottery game's $1 million grand prize, according to the release. The seven-figure winning ticket was purchased with a $10 at the Palm Pantry gas station convenience store on the Savannah Highway, according to the release. That's in the north area of Orangeburg County. He took the ticket home, scratched it while standing in his kitchen, officials said. The last row of numbers on the card revealed $1 million top prize, according to the release. I couldn't believe it, the winner said in the release. I wanted to cry, but I couldn't. While the winner said he was ecstatic, he didn't reveal any specific plans for spending his newfound windfall. All he would say publicly was that the payday will give him freedom. That's right. Things that I have wanted to do and couldn't afford to do, I can now do, he said. The winner will be allowed to retain some privacy, as South Carolina is one of 11 states, along with Arizona, Delaware, Georgia, Kansas, Maryland, New Jersey, North Dakota, Ohio, Texas, and Virginia, that allow lottery ticket winners to remain anonymous. So the winner overcame 1,500,000 to 1 odds. 1,500,000 to 1 odds to capture the millionaire bonus game jackpot, according to the release. This was the second of the game's 4 top prizes to be claimed. So, and the Palm Pantry in North received a commission of $10,000 for selling the claim ticket. How about that? Oh, my gosh, that is just unbelievable. Oh, here's another story I didn't know. Here's another story. They didn't fall off the truck. South Carolina lottery tickets stolen by a FedEx driver, cops claim. A FedEx delivery driver who stole South Carolina education lottery tickets from an upstate facility was recently arrested. On February 27th, Avarius Griffin was arrested for stealing multiple scratch-off lottery games from the back of FedEx delivery truck. The 31-year-old Greenville County resident was charged with lottery, attempting to influence a game by tampering, SLED said in a news release. The charge stemmed from December 10th of last year at the Evergreen Road facility in Anderson. And Griffin opened a South Carolina education lottery package containing scratch-off tickets, then took them from the delivery truck, and then before taking them to his home. I don't think he profited from this, but I think they found him. Yep, he did not get anything, but he did take the tickets. So how about that? Unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Did you hear the story this morning on WCRS? Yes, the station I'm talking on, the news this morning, about a guy who went to an English-speaking person, went to a Spanish store, a Spanish-speaking store, and was using Google AI as a translator to rob a store. It didn't turn out very well for him. Did not turn out very well for him. All right. one more story, and then I think I've got to go. Our interview this afternoon has been, Brenda is under the weather here today, so we'll be rescheduling that one. So I am sorry to say we will not be talking about Crossroads Women's Center, but we will be rescheduling that one. All right, the other story I wanted to talk about here this morning as we close out. Sometimes you just need to get away from all the heavy stuff, don't you? And just talk about some of the other things that are out there. So let's see, where is it? I saw this last night. Here we go. This is from New Zealand, so this is not a local story. Bag containing weed cash accidentally donated to a New Zealand charity shop. In Wellington, New Zealand, 2 teenagers mistakenly left a knapsack containing marijuana and cash at a donation area outside of a New Zealand charity shop, then returned in panic to retrieve the bag. Okay. A volunteer of the store noticed a pungent aroma before opening the knapsack and finding plastic bags of marijuana amounting to 1.5 ounces and 3,700 New Zealand dollars, which is about 2,200 US, in banknotes. Using marijuana recreationally and selling the drug are illegal in New Zealand. Some medical is allowed with a doctor's prescription. Police said the episode happened February 18th, and a spokesman wouldn't give more details of the shop's location to protect the staff, just in case there's any more other marijuana floating around there. The boy and girl had left the knapsack outside the shop as they waited for their vehicle to be serviced at a nearby workshop. The police statement said officers were called after the agitated teens returned to the store. They found an air pistol, which those under 18 cannot possess without a license and adult supervision in New Zealand, a police scanner, and more cash in the teen's car. It's not illegal to have a police scanner, but distributing or acting on information heard is a crime. Police didn't divulge details about any charges the arrested teens faced or if they had appeared in court. Well, there you go. New Zealand has strict rules about what can be reported from cases before the youth court, where cases of alleged offenders younger than 17 are usually heard. Well, I just thought that was interesting. Can you imagine the surprise? I wonder, since this was inside, did it end up inside? Did it act as a donation? I guess the shop couldn't keep the cash to use for good purposes for helping others. I guess not. Oh, well. Anyways, I am Ann Eller, and let's just see if there's anything else we need to cover here this morning. Oh, I tell you what. There is so much going on all the time. I just love sharing everything that I can share with you. And sometimes I just run out of time. They are having a ribbon cutting. This is from the Chamber. A ribbon cutting on March 12th. That will be Thursday at Brittany Goforth's Adventures Together. And she is over there at those new 112 Cross Creek Connector right here in Greenwood. She's got a new shop there. That's pretty cool. Did want to tell you that Chick-fil-A has a giveaway. And with spring break right around the corner, they're giving one guest a trio of treats to enjoy along the way. One winner will receive, this is a Chick-fil-A, our Chick-fil-A Cow Party board game, the new Chick-fil-A plush cow, and a refreshing strawberry hibiscus drink. To enter, tell us in the comments, this is on Facebook, what you have planned for spring break. If you don't get a spring break, then tell us where you'd go if you could take one. They will be choosing the winner on Friday, so you don't have a lot of time. Make sure you go ahead and enter. Also, I found this interesting. Capri's is turning 50, and every Monday in March, they are going to have a throwback to that time. Come celebrate every Monday in March. They're having a special $19.76, which is a throwback to the year we open. And you get your choice of lasagna, chicken parmesan, baked spaghetti. Every dinner is served with an antipasto salad and the beverage for $19.76, reminiscent of the year they opened. That is Capri's right here in Greenwood. Also, coming up, the next Greenwood County free food distribution is coming up on March 20th. It will be at the Little River Multicultural Center, 415 Riley Road in Hodges. Those usually are at 9 o'clock, and this is Second Harvest. You do not even have to get out of your car. They will bring it right to your car. So that is not this Friday, but the following Friday at the Little River Multicultural Center right there in Hodges. Let's see, did I miss anything? Nope. Okay, so that is pretty great. This they have posted their 2026 schedule, so that is on Facebook. It's actually on our WCRS page if you'd like to check that out and join it. Sign up, follow us on WCRS radio. We are always posting things that are going on, and sometimes I post some stupid stuff too. So if you want to be entertained, check that out. Greenwood County Library is having Law Talk, the heirs property. This is on March 23rd at 6 p.m. You do have to register, and they said this is for adults. Please, I like this. Please do not bring children or teenagers. No, it's for adults, and it's about how to handle estates with heirs. So that is a good thing. And also coming up this evening at the Art Center, they are having at the Art Center of Greenwood 5:30 to 7 p.m. for the next Lander University Community Lecture with Professor John Holloway as he reflects on home, the unique and vulnerable landscapes of South Carolina. Should be a real interesting talk. It is free and open to the public. As I said, starts at 5:30 with lecture beginning at 6 p.m. So check that one out. Anybody think there's not enough going on here in Greenwood? And I'm kind of checking this one out, the Parade in the Morning Festival all day. This is Lucky to be Lucky at in Greenville. They're having a big St. Patty's Day celebration. So you might want to check that out. They've got all kinds of things going on all day long. So wear a green so you don't get pinched. Go up there and have a good time. St. Patrick's Day season. Live bands, local vendors, food, drinks, kids' activities. And the best part, they say it's completely free. Probably except for buying the food and buying the drinks. FYI. All right. And don't forget the the Oscar Mayer Wiener Mobile will be down there in Columbia. I actually saw something, I didn't post it on our Facebook page, about how to park and where to go if you want to go see it. That will be this Thursday, March 12th from 11 to 3. What do you think? Do you think any of the House and Senate will be in session, or will they all be over there at the Wienermobile? I expect if you would like to find our legislators, go check that out. Go check that out at their location. They'll be visiting West Columbia City Hall this Thursday, March 12th from 11 to 3. And they did have a post about where to park and all that kind of stuff. But That is pretty cool. So do you think that the legislature will be in session, or will they cause a lunch break from 11 to 3 so everybody can get over there and get their picture taken with the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile? I love that. I love that. All right. So that's a few of the things that I know about that are going on. Of course, there is always more, but I did just want to mention some of those. There is one more thing I should mention if you are interested in what happened during the Revolutionary War, and this is called the Revolutionary War Battle Series, The Bloody Summer of 1780. That is this evening, March 10th, 7 p.m., Durant Ashmore, a very good authority on the past, at the Magnolia Room at the Lawrence County Museum. So that is open to the public. They would love for you to come see it. By the way, I do know that it is, although I've never been there, I need to get over there. It is a lovely, the way they have done the museum over there. They are saying $5 suggested donation for non-members, free to museum members. So, but still, I think that would be pretty darn cool to check that out. And if you've always wanted to get into Tai Chi, I think this is pretty cool. The Y is going to start a class that will be a 4-week course, Tuesdays, April 7th, 14th, 21st, and May 5th, 11 a.m. in Studio One. Registration opens Monday, March 30th. So this would be a very cool program. It says, please sign up at the front desk. This is for Tai Chi. It's supposed to be great for seniors. All right. That's going to do it for me. I'm going to say adieu. Thank you so much for tuning in with us this morning. I hope you found something, some little nugget of something that you can take away and talk about. Whether it's the guy that didn't get the ticket that he wanted and won $1 million. What does that tell you? Or the story about New Zealand where the young people had left a knapsack with marijuana and cash in it and got busted. Anyways, those are some of the stories that are out there. I always enjoy doing this show, and I hope that you enjoy listening and watching it. And you can always go back and watch it on Facebook, WCRS, for 30 days. And in the next day or so, it'll be on our website. If you don't like Facebook, it'll be on our website at WCRS1450am.net. So without further ado, I am going to say adieu. So take it away. Thanks for listening here today on WCRS.